San Francisco 49ers are looking forward to playing the Arizona Cardinals in Mexico City next week. After last night's big win against the LA Chargers, the Niners won 22-16. LA led by as much as 10 points in the first half, but the Niners started to rally after a Jimmy G score on a quarterback sneak near the end of the half. Then the 49ers took the lead in the fourth quarter on a run by Christian McCaffrey. The Niners defense stepped up to handing the Chargers completely scoreless second half. With us now for game highlights is Stephanie Sanchez from your 49K, is it 49K podcast, and your really good Twitter account. You know what? I have to tell you that defense is just money. With that defense shutting people down in the second half, they make adjustments. They frustrated the Chargers completely in that second half.
Yeah, I think it really is all about the adjustments with this DeMeco Ryans defense. I mean, in the first half, they gave up that early score, and it was a little nerve-wracking, watching the game a little bit. But I think, the adjustments that they made in the second half, they really put the clamps on, and they really limited what Justin Herbert was able to do.
I think with Stephanie, what the defense did well was when they bended, when the 49ers defense bended, and they gave up field goals instead of touchdowns. Yeah, it wasn't great that they gave up the field goals, but that kept them in the game long enough for that offense to get back on its feet.
Oh, absolutely. And on the other end, the offense being able to actually perform a little bit better in that second half as well and be able to put some points on the board, that really made all the difference in that second half.
Kyle Shanahan is nothing but a running coach, okay? 41 runs, that's a lot of runs. He just wants to beat people down, and the 49ers, with running the ball, just dominate the time of possession. That's obviously, he's not going to change that, is it?
Right, and he shouldn't, right? And especially against this game, Chargers had one of the worst run defenses coming into this game. I can't imagine it's any better after yesterday's game. And so, yeah, I think that was going to be the plan all along, to run the football, and especially in that second half with Elijah Mitchell coming back, you now have a 1-2 punch. RB1 and RB2 in Elijah Mitchell and McCaffrey, so I think they're going to be successful with it.
It's almost like an embarrassment of riches, because Mitchell, obviously, he gets his in. He had a great day. He had a better day than McCaffrey, honestly, but it's going to go back and forth, I think. Is there any criticism that you hear about Kyle Shanahan? Because you hear a lot of it on Twitter. That's what Twitter's all about. From people that rings true in your mind?
I mean, at the end of the day, when the
what
team...
the Grant Cohns are saying, for example. And I love me some Grant Cohn, but sometimes he's out there, right? I know he was on your show, right?
Yes.
He's out there sometimes, but sometimes what he says, is it true, or is it just... What are these critics saying?
I think there is some truth to it. I think, Kyle Shanahan is not free of any criticism. You could definitely criticize him for some of the decision-making he does, some of the conservatives. He's very conservative. I think that's one of the biggest things that...
Like at the end when they kept going, they didn't go for that touchdown. They kept, running the ball.
Exactly.
Right? They made the field goal instead.
Exactly. So things like that, for fans, it's a little frustrating. And so I think it's always fair to criticize. But at the end of the day, if the team is winning, what more can you be mad at?
Well, okay, last question here, and it's kind of a big one. Do you think the Niners, as they are currently comprised with this defense and with this, I would say, serviceable offense, maybe getting better offense, are they contenders?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, we know this team is talented. They have all the talent in the world. On paper, they should be able to beat anyone. It's just a matter of, can they be consistent? And, of course, the win last night, after the win against the Rams as well, this is a good step forward. They have to be able to stack the wins, and, this is a step forward of being able to do that and be contenders.
Well, the defense looked great. I know that the offense, I think that the offense could look better. That's just me nitpicking, but that defense looked great in the second half. Steph Sanchez, thanks for joining us. And I love, if you go on Twitter, you can see her doing an impersonation of Nick Bosa. Money, loved it. Thanks, Steph.
Appreciate it.